Ladies and gentlemen, this is Reaction. This is Funny Gym Fails TikTok compilation by the channel TikTok Unlocked. Yeah, uh, you know, I like to go to gym. I guess as you can clearly see, right? Past year I haven't been able to go to gym, lockdowns and shit. So I created, I guess, makeshift gym at my home. Even right now I'm using that because I guess I'm too lazy to go to the gym. I don't have time for that. And also, while being at the gym, it's really hard to concentrate. There are way too many elements that basically waste your time, and which is not good because timing is also important when you're trying to build muscles. So yeah, funny gym fails, right? I hope there is nothing like, somebody's doing bench press and the whole bar comes down in someone's throat or something, because that's fucked up, right? There's been one instance where I went a bit too much and bar came down on me, and basically it created some kind of a rip on my pecs, right? Because it literally felt like, it's a warm feeling, right? It's not pain, or it probably was pain, but at the time, because I was lifting, adrenaline made sure that I don't feel pain. But I felt this rip there, right? It was burning, and after that I realized, holy shit, not that I only fucked up my pec, I also fucked up my rotator cuff. So I couldn't do any workout for a month. No, no overhead presses, no bench presses, things like that. Anything I do hurt like fuck. So yeah, the point is, I've been injured. I did my time inside the gym, so I guess I will have a thing or two to say about this. So let's watch it. Okay. Wait a minute, he can't do it? Whoa!
I almost had it.
Wait a minute, was it deliberately being funny? Because look, seeing his size, right? I would have been surprised if he made that jump. After a certain level, when you overload yourself with muscle, you lose a too much basically mobility and everything. Right now, past 2 years, I guess one of my probably oldest viewer of my channel probably might have noticed that my muscle is not as big as it was used to, I guess 6 months ago, a year ago, because since the lockdown, right, I couldn't do much of workout, and life also gets in the way. So right now I lost at least nearly an inch of muscle on my arm. But there was a one time where I was really bulked up. I mean, really bulked up, right? Around that time I found myself that I can't do certain plyometrics type of explosive movements, jumps and things like that, which I did a lot. Every time I worked out, I did this cycle, more like UFC fighters do, a cycle of exercises that are explosive and raises your heart and everything. Jumps like this, right? Fast paced movements, and then I worked out an hour later. I used to do that. So knowing this, basically I did that once, right? I put, I guess it was 5 feet or something, right? It was 5 feet of, boxes stacked up on there, and I'm supposed to jump that. It took me a bit of try, but I did that perfectly. Nowadays, I don't know if I could do it 3 feet because, past year, I lost a lot of things. I didn't work out as much as I used to for 5-6 years straight. I plan to go back to that, right? Immediately, I guess, starting next month, I guess, from October. I'm going to try to get back at the shape that I was before. So yeah, but that was fucking difficult. And especially seeing the guy, how heavy he was, of course, he didn't make it. Oh, in the background. Can I just say, who is this asshole that is laughing? Poor old lady laughing emoji. Really? That's an old lady. How many old ladies do you see working out? So somebody actually has the balls to do this rather than sit on their sofa chair and watch some kind of a daily soap or something. Somebody's actually trying to do something in the gym, and this happens and you laugh. Poor old lady laughing emoji. That feels a bit strong. Yeah, man, look at that. Oh god. Okay, what is this? Okay, hell, what the fuck was that? Let me see his movement. He's not doing tricep workout there either, right? Because he's flaring way too much. I highly doubt. I think he's putting much pressure onto his rotator cuffs than anything else, which is the most dangerous thing when it comes to workout. Rotator cuffs are way too easy to injure, and once you do it, there's a high chance it will not heal as like it was before, I guess. So this is just fucking dangerous. If he's trying to do behind the head overhead press or whatever, first of all, that is fucked up in its own way. If you can do it right and the joints and body is made in a way that's fine for you, great, but that's unnecessary, right? Even the behind the head pull-ups that Jason Statham used to do in movies and things, so people are doing that, even that is fucked up. That fucks up your elbows and everything a lot. Okay, you can't just walk past that. What the fuck was that? What does this achieve? Seriously, I know this is all stupid, but I'm still trying to find some scientific way of thinking. Does that have any benefit? I mean, maybe lower back, the way she's leaning, but even that I highly doubt it, because she is using more of her body weight with gravity to pull it down rather than actually forcing. So I don't know. This is doing nothing. Those plates just slammed onto his face, man. And of course, I paused and I'm seeing the guy sitting on the plastic chair with, what is that, 25 pounds. So that must be 45 pounds. So 90 and 50 is like, 140 pounds. That would hurt, man. Right? 150 pounds. I'm thinking of a kilo since I'm an Indian guy, right? Everything's in kilo here. That's 75 kgs. That would fucking hurt. And the chair cannot take that. I mean, you plus the weight, no. Oh, you moron. Okay. Maybe some stability muscles of abs and I guess, I don't know, man. I don't know what that was. Was spotter ever, okay. Oh, that just tells you the guy who's lifting weight is very recent and new to the gym or something. Because when you're bench pressing and if you can't handle the weight, if you're experienced enough, the one thing that you don't even have to think about is becomes a reflex that never let go of the bar like that. He just let go of the bar and it just slammed onto his chest. Look at that. First of all, Spotter probably didn't know that this was gonna happen. I'm pretty sure he didn't say it like, oh, just, take it off, basically. And, I'm being a scientific guy, I guess. One thing I want to say, if people don't know, Spotter doesn't need to be too strong, right? When you're lifting weight and you come to the place where you can, lift it again, you're just holding it there. So the point is, every part of that weight is your hand is supporting it right now. So even if somebody just comes with a finger can lift that, right? A spotter with just finger doing that, not being strong, can lift that. Because at that point, that barbell, dumbbell has no weight, since the guy who's holding it is holding all the weight. So you can just, lift it with this. Spotter doesn't need to be too strong, right? Because let's say, there is 100 kilos on the barbell. If the guy stops at the chest or whatever holding that bar, then he's holding 100 kilos. So even if a guy who can, I guess, do 2 kilos, of lifting, even he can basically lift it up. A teenager can do it, some kid, slim kid. So I heard lots of my friends saying, we need spotter who's strong. Nah, not really. He's our... Whoa! Okay, what just happened? Why did he collapse? The toys in Toy Story when humans are around. What? First of all, somebody told him, I guess, that when you're doing overhead press, it has to be completely straight. So he's sacrificing everything, his joints, his spine, and everything just to keep that straight. Look at that, which is fucked up. And then he just loses it. Okay. I wanna say what an idiot, but I'm not gonna, because that's a respect. Right? He's jumping 6 foot tall. Stack there. You watch way too many Hollywood movies, man. Alright, chill out already. The guy is thinking it's like one of those montage thing that Hollywood movie has. Some badass guy who can punch the bag and just, manhandle it. He's thinking, I'm that. I mean, it's, average people can basically, punch a punching bag across like that. When you becomes really strong, you need a spotter for that too, to hold the bag, right? If not, just make the bag heavier. What the fuck is happening? Is he training his reflexes or something? Yeah. What? Why was he doing that? And how is nobody came like, okay, don't fuck up my gym equipment, man. Just do the workout or fuck off. Because things like that would basically makes you a villain inside the gym, right? I mean, there are certain unspoken rules about the gym that you have to know and follow. Otherwise, everybody's like, oh, what a fucking idiot. Everybody will basically hate you.
I lost every shot. Yep, working the abs.
Alright, I know with an untrained eye, one would think like, okay, he's hanging like that. So all of his, inner core muscles, stability muscles are working over time because he has to hang like that. And then he's doing this kind of a leg workout to, I guess strengthen his abs, right? Cycling movements and everything, all this type of workout that you're supposed to do on the ground, right? And he's doing that. People think, oh, that would make you even more stronger. Yeah, no, because the way he's lifting like that, most of his stability muscles around the abs and everything is basically holding that body and trying to stabilize it. So every time you kick like that, abs are not getting all the effort from that, right? Other muscles are pitching in. You will not build good ab muscles like this. Yeah, that's not good. See, he's bobbing too much. I don't get this. Certain thing has to make sense. Otherwise, anybody who's never been to gym would see this and thinking, what does this achieve anyway? Doing that, first of all, you're not even pulling the cord there. So there is no weight there. If you pulled the machine core bit too close to you and then did that, one could even argue that maybe you're creating strength in your forearms or something, your rotator cuff, you're trying to strengthen that. I don't know. He is not even pulling it, just doing this. You could do that in the air without touching that, would make no difference. Let's pull the cord, man, at least somewhat. Yeah, people, when it comes to powerlifting moves like snatch and everything, you need to understand one thing, like you have to master the form, right? Before trying heavier weight and weights that would actually make difference. You're supposed to handle the weight that, you can never fail, even if it gets out of your hand. You're supposed to use that kind of weight to train yourself how to do the movement more efficient, because all these powerlifting movements are really dangerous and you have to perfect it. Otherwise, you'll basically tear up your muscle here and there. Yeah, okay. I guess he was trying to, build his muscles, right? With front raises like that, but he was using momentum. So, this is the problem with lots of people. Even I was among them at the earlier times. People just, I guess, focus on the weight way too much. If you have higher weight and if you just, use momentum to do it, you still get bigger because it's too fucking big of a weight. No, that's not how things work, because in your body, the muscle you're trying to target, there are so many other muscles that basically compensate that if you don't do it with the right form, right? So taking your time, bit lighter weight than you normally use, is taking your time but doing a proper tempo and doing a proper rep. You will, by the 8th and 10th rep, you will feel a real stretch in you. And you don't have to stop there if it's lighter weight. You can go all the way to 16 rep. I know there's this kind of a myth that if you go anywhere beyond 12, you won't build muscle. If anything, that's bullshit, because the tempo you're supposed to do, usually people don't do it. People's reps are kind of quicker than it should be. So by ensuring to go even higher than the 12th rep, 14, 15, 16 rep, now even if you made some mistake, some of the rep were a bit way too fast, by going to the 16, you're overloading your muscle really good. So I know 8 to 12 rep is the hypertrophy range, but if you know what you're doing, if you know how your tempo is off with every rep, and if you're feeling it, that's great. But if you're just half-assing it, going to the 16 rep is important. At least you'll get some benefit out of it. And as far as the heavy workout, if you're lifting a heavy dumbbell by using momentum, that's fine, right? Because sometimes you're trying to overload your muscle to break up a tau or something. So when you're trying to do that, it's fine if you just if you just lift the weight with momentum. But when it's coming down in the eccentrics, you're supposed to slow down as much as you can by using the strength, right? Like, if you're doing lateral raises like that, if you swing front, but when the dumbbell is coming down, if you hold it as much as you can, that will create this eccentric overload. That is pretty important for muscle building. I've done that for my shoulders in the past, and the results were great. So sometimes momentum is good, but you're supposed to know what you're doing. If you just use momentum just to do every single part of the rep, no, that doesn't work. Oh yeah, he's working out for some different thing. Alright, first of all, anybody who does heavy reps, right, the heavy weighted reps like that, right, pretty heavy lift, they usually, start with, lighter weights, exercises at that point. Like if you're doing a heavy squat, usually people, what they do is they do 3 or 4 sets of lighter weight squats, right? and then at the last set you properly load up the way you want to, and then you're successful. If you just go there and just load up the plate just to do heavy workout, this is, your body is gonna go into shock at certain level. You start to shake, right? Things like that have happened to me in the past, and since then I've learned, like, if you want to lift heavy, and this is that workout where you're not trying to work out as a hypertrophy thing, but to build strength, like 2-3 reps with extremely like 90-95% of 1 rep max type of weight.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Damn. Oh, come on, man. No, no, no. And you're fucked.
What? What? Ah, no! Stop! Stop! What? Come on, let's go!
What was that?
Let's go! Stop! What? Come on, let's go! Come on. What are you doing? Let's go! What? Come on! Oh! Ah.
Look, I've been to the position where, when I was doing a bench press and nobody was fucking around, the weight came down onto me, and that was the first time that happened. You never felt, I guess, helpless, like that, right? You never seen something like that anywhere. But when you're doing that and the bar comes down and you're doing everything in your power to move the weight, but now you can't, that's a panicky situation in its own, right? I had to slide around and drop the entire weight left side some weirdly, and then I realized I also tore my pec at that time. That was a fucked up time. Since then, I've been really careful doing the bench presses. So bench press squats are somewhat dangerous if you don't do it right, because bent over rows, right? If the weight goes wrong, it just falls to the ground. If you're doing weighted pull-ups, at best you can just leave the bar and fall on the ground. But weight coming on top of you, that's always dangerous. See, this would have been fine. The way he's using momentum, to do that, this would have been fine if the eccentric part, the lowering part, he managed it right. There are such things as cheat reps, to strengthen your eccentrics basically, because your muscles grows more during the eccentric phase. While the weight is coming down, that is the one you're supposed to do everything to slow it down and get all the micro damages in your muscles. So that is the pretty important thing. That's why lots of people, I went to the gym and lots of people bitching to me, oh, why you using momentum to lift the weight? I had to explain to them, like, I'm doing this deliberately, because the weight that I'm using, no way I can do that weight normally. But I'm using that to strengthen my eccentrics. That breaks the plateau, and if anything, I'll notice way too high of a muscle growth by doing that. Eccentrics are really important. But this macho mentality, like just lifting weight is enough, that is the biggest killer of muscles, I guess. People just lift the weight like that and just drop it the way they can, even though that is the most important part. And I'm having a hard time speaking right now because I think I'm drugged out right now with all the pills I took. So, you know, but I think I'm making sense. I even forgot what I said 10 minutes ago, but yeah. I don't even know what that does. All right, that has happened to me as well, but not that like that. I used to use band for, you know, bicep exercises, right? 16, right? What is that called? 21. Sorry, not 16s, right? 21s. You know, I did that with the band being below my legs, right? And suddenly it just, I don't know why, it just, you know, loose from there, and it just hit me on the back. There was a big ass red line, like somebody fucking whipped me or something. That hurts. That shit hurts. And that was the end of that. He's not gonna come back to gym again. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a shitty way of doing that. I know, but I think he's training for something different. Ooh. The guy is just, you know, filming with the camera and just, you know, bicep curling there while she's in the background falling like, ah, man, I'm just in my own world. I don't care what happens background. There could be bombs falling outside and I wouldn't budge.
Are you okay? Oh, shit.
You know, like, so it's in between your legs. Yeah, because you were like, yeah.
Ah, no, man, leave him there. Just leave him there.
Dr. Max in the house. Famous. 1-6. Come on, push it. Come on. You know how much tension that is, Dr. Max? You know how hard that is? Just to lift it off the rack. Come on, let's go. Let me see that tension. That's 6 plates? Damn, Max. It's my uncle. I knew him since back in the days when I worked in the Bronx at Bally's. Give him a big shout out, man. Thank you for everything.
That's my man right there, my man.
Okay. You know, I like to talk about, you know, all the things that I learned along the way. But like I said, right now I'm drugged out, so, you know, I'm barely can even react to this. But the point is here, this is a trend. People lift, you know, racks up the weight as much as they can, right? And after that, they just think just moving the weight is enough. I mean, I've been there. Anybody who's, you know, worked out seriously for a few years has always, you know, been there, made mistakes like that. But in the end, only thing I can tell you that's never worth it, right? Maybe it makes you strong somewhat here and there, but if you're doing a proper rep, and not rep as proper robotic type of like people are saying, I mean, if you go to YouTube videos and somebody's doing pull-up, but if he's not going like, completely top, just staying close to the bar, people are like, oh, that doesn't count. That's not a proper pull-up. You don't have to do 100% of, range of motion. 95% is fine. But just, half-assly do, just trying to lift a weight. I mean, you're trying to build muscle and, build your fitness, not trying to just lift a certain level of weight. That's just fucked up. That never, nets you anything. I remember when I was starting out, obviously at the earlier months, you build muscle really fast, doesn't matter what you do. But after like a 6 month or a year later, right, you need to do something drastic. So I remember, lifting way too heavy muscles. I'm surprised right now I didn't now fuck up my muscles by, causing joint issues. I guess I got lucky. But, I used to lift really heavy, and it kind of helped me. Because after that, even with the normal lifts, I was lifting way too higher than, I think I should have at the time, because I lifted that heavy. But in the end, that is always dangerous. It will, cause a massive damage, and you will not reap any benefit. Like I said, even if you don't realize it, there are lots of stabilizing muscle that are aiding that kind of a heavy weight when you try to lift it, right? So if you're trying to, lift from your shoulder, sometimes your chest, even lower back pitches in if you're way too heavy. So that's why people say if you don't feel the weight, there's a high chance that you fucked it up. So you have to feel the weight at certain level when you do the rep. You're supposed to feel somewhat of stretch at least.
Fives, bro. Go crazy,
That's
yeah.
45 of what?
Do it with your eyes closed.
Do the shit with my eyes open.
Holy.
All right. I'm just gonna say that his position is really fucked up. His way, the way he's holding the bar, it's way too behind, right? He could have lifted that if he was bit too, bit more top of the bench than he is here, right? He's creating this kind of a curve like that, which will never. You have to be much closer. Your shoulder and the bar should be only slightly angled, not this much. This is why you can't lift it. Small tweaks here and there goes a long way, right? I mean, I remember, to just understanding how to lift the weight properly from the bench made sure that I lifted, 15 kilos more than I used to. When I started, I used to lift like, 55 kilos in bench press, right? But, I didn't know how to do it. I was doing shit like this. But then I learned along the way, like there's certain type of position you have to be before you lift weight for the optimal strength. When I learned that, I was doing the same type of reps, same type of intensity, but now with like 75 kilos something, way too higher kilos than I was doing literally just a few days ago. So most of the time, there are so many elements goes into the lifting out, right? But tweaks here and there, how much explosiveness you should have, eccentrics, how slow it should be, that all matters. And it's it's really hard to get the hang of that. No channel, no video, right? No trainer will basically can walk you through that. In the end, trial and error is pretty important from your part. You just have to learn, I guess. Advices are good, but you have to feel it your own self, like which works for you, right? Because if people just tell you should do this second of eccentric, this many reps, doing it this way, won't necessarily work for you, right? You have to find your own rhythm, because it depends on lots of things: your lifestyle, the diet that you are eating, right? If you have vitamin deficiency or something, if you're taking multivitamins or not. Certain type of lifting routines will basically exhaust you for a week if you're not healthy in way. And if you're really active and healthy in every other way, maybe you can lift more with certain tweaks on how you're approaching the bench and everything. It matters, small thing here and there. All right, people, I guess, that was funny gym fails. Some of them were funny, some of them were terrifying, right? When the weight comes down, if you're trying to bench press really heavy, that's fucking terrifying, because you're pinned. If nobody's around to, pick that up, you're basically fucked, which kind of happened to me, I guess, 2 years ago. And I tore my, I guess, rotator cuff at that point. So, yeah. All right, people, if you like my reason, like, subscribe. If you want me to react to more gym videos like this, I guess comment down. Yeah, right now, like I said, I feel a bit drugged out because of all the pills I took. So I don't know. I don't even know what I said about this video and what I reacted to just 10 minutes ago. But yeah. All right, I'll see you next time.